I personally think it's pretty magical, but it doesn't really matter what we think until you get your hands on it and vote.
What is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today, Riot Games has dropped a ton of League of Legends Wild Rift information, including the dates and regions that are going to be coming up for the recent closed alpha coming up in June. That is going to be the Brazil and Philippines, so stick around for this video to learn all the exact dates and everything. And then also in this video, they're dropping a ton of information and gameplay scattered throughout this video. So if you've been just wanting a ton of League of Legends Wild Rift information, wanting to know all about the game, wanting to see certain champions, certain gameplay, whatever, then this video is for you. Riot, again, just recently dropped this dev diary that we're just going to be watching and reacting to today. I've already took a look at some of it, and it's got some really awesome information. With that being said, let's get right into it. We can kind of skip around to what I think are some of the more important parts and stuff. So we're going to be talking about the Brazil and Philippines Android Alpha details up first.
Our very first test is a 2-week alpha in Brazil and the Philippines, just on mobile, starting with the folks who pre-registered during League's 10-year anniversary. This is just a first step, but it's a very important one, and we're eager to expand from there because we need your feedback on some really important things. First, and most importantly, we need you to tell us if we've hit our mark for delivering a true League of Legends experience with dual-stick controls. I personally think it's pretty magical, but it doesn't really matter what we think until you get your hands on it and vote with your playtime.
So I thought that little duel between Fiora and Camille there was pretty interesting to see. I think that looks like pretty standard League of Legends stuff. Like you can obviously understand that it's mobile. You can see the stuff in the bottom right corner, the controls, all that stuff. But man, that looks pretty true to the League of Legends that we know and love. I do think the gameplay and stuff is going to depend on how fast paced it is, how long the games last, stuff like that. Also how optimized it is on your phones. How, I don't know, like TFT mobile makes my phone really hot sometimes. I even have an iPhone X, and I can't imagine people with older phones and stuff. It is going to determine a lot of things like that, how good this game is. But like right there, so far the two clips of gameplay we've seen, the Annie and the Fiora so far, looks pretty clean to me.
Second, we want to know more about how our round game systems are meeting your needs. This is everything outside the match on the Rift itself, from collecting champs and skins to our other metagame systems. And because an important promise of Wild Rift is that you can play it with more of the people you care about, we want to know if our onboarding is going to help your friends find the magic and the fun in League of Legends, so you can play together. Last, we're testing our infrastructure and service capabilities. The game's got to run smooth on your device, lag-free on the network, and free of cheats and cheaters. So check your email if you pre-registered. We're excited to get you into the game. And to prepare for that, we're going to give you a peek at what we're up to with updates from across the team.
I mean, so far they said a lot of amazing stuff. They're definitely right. It needs to run smooth on your devices. The servers need to be good, and yeah, there definitely needs to not be cheaters. I'm not really too familiar with mobile gaming and stuff, and just how plagued by cheaters that mobile games and stuff are and all that. But yeah, it would definitely be a horrible experience. There's gonna be a bunch of cheaters and stuff. I also do think the progression system is going to be really important. Yeah, how fast you level up, how much of a grind is it to get to ranked, how much of a grind is it to get a bunch of champions. I think it definitely needs to be less than the League of Legends desktop version. One, because you're just not going to be able to play as much on your phone, probably, I would assume at least. And you don't want the new player experience to be as terrible as it is for League of Legends desktop, because if this is going to be a new phone game where it's going to be reaching a whole new audience, you want the new player experience to be top notch, and it definitely needs to be a lot better than the League of Legends desktop version. Otherwise, people are just going to quit playing, because the desktop version is so grindy. It takes forever to unlock all the champs, it takes forever to hit level 30, and the phone game needs to hopefully be a much better system than that.
Hi everyone, I'm David Xu, the product manager for Champions on Wild Rift. We talked about Champions a while ago, and our philosophy remains simple. We want to retain the feel of your favorite champions so they are authentic to what you know from League, and we only look for changes where it makes sense, like to accommodate Wild Rift's faster game pacing, our slightly smaller map, or to adjust for the dual stick controls. Now you're probably wondering who has made it into the alpha roster. So we put together a little something to show you who made the cut this time around. this lineup is just
So that was pretty crazy. I didn't know that they're necessarily going to show a cinematic for every single champion, but the cinematics were really, really cool. I do think it's hilarious that Aurelion Sol is going to be in the game because, I don't know, I just thought that was really funny. They obviously have so many problems with him in the desktop version of League and nobody really playing him. They can't really figure out how to balance him or make him fun and viable and playable for people. So I thought that was pretty interesting. They do go through a little bit more gameplay here, but we're going to skip ahead to the gameplay overview with Jonathan.
Hey everyone, I'm Jonathan Chow and I lead the gameplay and balance team on Wild Rift. We've got a lot to share with you today, so let's get started. Wild Rift's gameplay will look pretty familiar to League players, so we thought we'd start at the same place every League game does. Let's head into Champ Select. Just like on PC, you can select from a range of summoner spells that give you powerful but limited tools to turn the tide of battle. Smite will be a little different, but we'll get into that later. With Wild Rift's rune system, we're looking to bring the meaningful pre-game decision-making of runes reforged on PC, but streamlined for shorter game sessions. There are 8 Keystone Runes to choose from, like Electrocute, Airy, and Conquer. You can then pick 3 minor runes to complement your choice. We added a few new minor runes unique to Wild Rift, like Sweet Tooth, which grants you gold when you eat honey fruit, and Loyalty, which gives you and your lane partner defensive stats when you're close to each other, and this bonus stacks too. You might have figured out some of this already from our previous gameplay clips, but let's talk about some of the features of our map, which is called Wild Rift.
So far I think it's pretty cool that they are going to have runes in the game. Obviously they need to have some edited runes just for simplicity's sake. Also it's going to be a different game, different faster paced game. There's not so many of the scaling runes are going to make as much sense and stuff like that. I think it's cool that they're limiting the options, and then they always have the option to add in more stuff as the game, sees necessary or fit. I think it is going to be a little bit weird having differences between Wild Rift and League of Legends. Just because League of Legends players are going to be like, okay, why can't we have that rune? Why is that being held to just mobile or whatever, especially if it's a good idea or something that people really enjoy. But I think it is kind of interesting. As far as the summoner spells, there's no cleanse or anything, which I thought, I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, just some interesting stuff. I think it is cool that they have runes, that they have, obviously they're going to have the draft that everyone knows, the same summoner spells, all that. Pretty interesting so far.
Lanes in the rift. Pick one and push forward. Defeat the enemy turrets and Nexus to win.
That's actually really, really interesting that they have a mirrored map. That's something that I think would be interesting to have in League of Legends as well. But yeah, that's pretty crazy that, yeah, if you're bot lane, you end up in the top side. I wonder how that's going to work as far as like assigning your roles and stuff. Is the red team bot lane going to remember to go top side? Or is that actually bot lane for the red team and it's just flipped? I don't know. It looks pretty interesting, but I have a lot of questions still. I think that's actually an interesting concept of evolved buffs and stuff. I think that would be interesting in League of Legends as well. Because the buffs definitely get less meaningful as the game goes on. Especially blue buff. No Nexus turrets? Oh, okay. The Nexus is actually its own turret. They have elemental dragons. Pretty interesting. I think they're really good and fun in League, so I think that makes sense. They also have Elder Dragon. I want to say that I haven't seen a mini map so
phases
far.
Of a League game that you would expect, but shortened to 15 to 20 minutes. From
Yeah, so there's no mini map, so warding
phase,
actually becomes an interesting
to
concept.
setting up the perfect gank, to fighting over that crucial dragon, to clutch team fights.
Yeah, I mean, so much of the gameplay looks so clean. Like, it looks so true to League of Legends, and I think that is going to be awesome. I think it's just going to come down to, in the end, how well it runs on phones and how long the game times is, because people obviously don't want to sit on their phones for 60 minutes at a time, or how hot your phone gets, stuff like that. If they can get this to run well on a ton of different phones and just have it really well optimized, I think this game could be a hit, because, man, it looks just like League of Legends, but a faster pace, like, potentially even more fun version.
For junglers, you can now choose whether you want challenging smite or chilling smite after you finish off
That's
4
pretty cool.
major jungle camps. That way you can get straight into ganking as soon as you're ready. You can expect to find many in-game items you'll know from PC, which can only be bought in the fountain.
So they don't have cleanse,
While
but
the
they have
number and
QSS.
tuning of items may be different, their purpose is almost identical. For instance, Rabadon's Death Cap is still the go-to item for stacking up your ability power. And Trinity Force still deals tons of damage.
Also, right here, it looks like Boots is potentially an active item. Like, maybe it's like a ghost or something. You just click Boots and get a speed boost. Not sure, but Boots definitely has an icon on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen.
We also need feedback on our new Tear of the Goddess item designed for tanks. It's called Fimbulwinter, and it'll grant you a shield when you crowd control someone. Wild Rift also features many familiar active items, but each player can only purchase one. These active effects are now bought as a third tier for boots, and you can mix and match any upgrade with any boot type. Support players might want to pick up the Redemption enchant, and tanks can grab the Stoneplate for extra.
Wow, that's actually so interesting. You can get QSS on your boots, you can get Stoneplate on your boots, Redemption on your boots, reduces enemy movement speed in your boots. That's actually a really interesting idea. I think having a QSS on your boots, that would be insane, but also getting Stoneplate, Redemption stuff, that's a very interesting concept, and that's how they're going to use active items in this game. So yeah, so boots do have an active, and that's how you use them. That's a very interesting concept. Could be a little bit broken, but I mean, if everybody gets it, I don't know.
For resistances.
I don't think I'd like to see that
Or
in League of
maybe you'll
Legends,
wanna
but I think
try
in Wild
something
Rift
that's
could be an
totally
interesting
different.
concept. Zanya's too.
We've added a quick buy pop-up for when you really need to get back to lane quickly, too.
I think that's really nice quality of life.
We've built Wild Rift's gameplay with depth and strategy in mind. We want this to be a MOBA that's easy to pick up with friends, with a high ceiling for mastery, so we're hoping the core 5v5 experience lives up to your expectations. Speaking of 5v5, the Regional Alpha also has Co-op vs AI available to practice your skills, a tutorial that covers controls and abilities, and we're looking to add
Having a good tutorial is going to be so important. The game's so complex. It's going to be a ton of new people who have never played League of Legends who have never played League of Legends before playing. If this tutorial is good, it'll help the success of the game so much, in my opinion.
modes after launch. Alpha players can even test the rank system, which we've designed to retain the core competitive spirit of League, with a few
Ranked is going to be a
adaptations
huge
for new
part.
platforms.
League of Legends players want ranked.
We'll
They
talk
want it to be a
more about this
competitive
at a
game.
later date.
Having a good
That's all
ranked
for
system
me.
is going to be huge.
Now let's talk about skins.
Alright, and then they kind of go into some skin stuff where they just talk about the development, all the different skins that are going to be in the game, all of that stuff. But yeah, pretty much it for this video today, guys. Again, I can pull up the dates of the... we can go on over to Twitter real quick. We can pull up the dates for the alpha testing in Brazil and the Philippines. I can't remember the exact dates on here. Here we go. So here is the exact dates. We have the Wild Rift Alpha test June 5th through 26th in Brazil and June 6th through 27th in the Philippines. So that is going to be huge. It's also only going to be on Android phones and they'll be randomly selected. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Just a ton of information about Wild Rift, a ton of gameplay featured in this video, a ton of huge different gameplay updates and all that stuff, and then dates on the closed alpha. It's going to be coming very soon because what, June 5th is in like 7 days, 6 days, something like that. So that it's going to be very exciting, and I'm really hyped about this, and I hope you guys are too. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment down below. What do you think about Wild Rift or any of the stuff we talked about in today's video? Subscribe to update on my latest content. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one, but until then, peace.